Hi everyone, it's Heather from True North Spirit Medicine here today. How you going? Welcome to my latest energy reading video. I struggle with not naming them at the beginning, as you can tell. That's all right though. How have you been? Oh my gosh. What are we in July? So it's been a ride. Oh my Lord. There's a lot going on, a lot of new light, high frequency energy coming through onto the planet. And a lot of people have been really tired, really grumpy, really reflective, not necessarily in a good way, but also good. But yeah, some reflections haven't been so easy to walk through, I suppose. A bit depressed, a bit anxious, a bit of everything really. So I hope that you're managing to keep your, I want to say calibration, even. Steer with an even keel is what they're saying. Yeah, it's been challenging though. So remember, firstly, that it's not just you. It's not just you that's anxious or depressed or tired or feeling overwhelmed or, you know, all of the rest of it. So lean into your community if you can, even if that's like an online chat group or whatever. Yeah, stay connected. Keep those, I want to say tendrils activated. It's a bit weird, but anyway, you know what I mean. Stay in touch with your tribe, man. Excuse me. I'm filming this outside. It's such a nice day. I felt like I didn't want to be cooped up inside. And I started off trying to set up the camera in the garden, but that was kind of hard. So now I'm on the back veranda, which is nice. But I'm just slightly concerned by the, you know, the neighborhood sounds. But I've got the microphone, so it should be okay, and some fancy editing software. Anyway, I apologize in advance if there's any background noise that I can't get rid of. There was something else I wanted to say about the recent energy, though. What was that? A couple of weeks ago, I found myself, sort of felt like out of the blue, but now it makes a bit more sense. Just really, and this is the reflection part I was talking about a minute ago, just really sort of almost constantly for a few days, just remembering things from the past, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, kind of past, not, you know, last week or even last year. And sometimes they were just nice little moments or memories that I hadn't thought of for 20 years or whatever. And sometimes there were moments where I was like, oh, I was a bit embarrassed by my behavior or, you know, things like that, where I wasn't proud of myself, or memories of other people that I hadn't thought of for 15 or 20 years or something, but just lots of them, like lots of them. And I found personally the best way to kind of walk through that was just to let it go, like just to not go, oh, I didn't behave well that time on a Tuesday in 1982 or whatever. Yeah, just kind of, you know, recognize these memories or these thoughts coming up and then just kind of let them slide off me, I suppose. I was listening to a really good, I'll see if I can put the link in the description box below, really good Ann Tucker video on the train on the way to art college last couple of days. And she was talking about something about the Bowbore's basket or something like this, pretty fancy astronomical alignment, same thing. That's been happening recently, and it helped a lot actually. I'd highly recommend listening to it. But there was one bit in there where she was talking about the bit that she'd channeled, and she sort of deconstructs the channel, like her, you'll see if you listen to her videos. She does the trance channel and then talks about it for the second part of the video. And she was talking about letting go or something, and she was saying the easiest way that she found, or the message that she got, or whatever the context was, I can't quite remember, was to just let it slide off you. And she sort of, the description she found useful, which helped me as well, was she said, imagine if you've ever been wearing a big heavy coat and you unbutton it and you just let it slide off you. Just sort of let it slide off you and fall to the ground or whatever. And when I heard her say that, just day before yesterday, I was like, oh, that's what the conclusion I sort of came to. Butchie birds come to say hello in the tree. A couple of weeks earlier, I was like, yes, if I let them slide off me, then I just could kind of move through those waves of recollections or whatever a lot faster, I suppose, a lot more easily. Yeah, it's been a super interesting time. I do feel like I'm on the other side of it now. I hope you do too. Although sometimes we can be a bit of a not precursor. What's the word? Like doing it first. So you might be going through it now, or it might come up for you in a week or so, or you might surf through this one and not even notice, which would also be nice. But it's been pretty big, so I'd be surprised if even people who have no idea what's going on oh, Jesus. That'll be the butcher bird landing on the upside down water bowl and tipping it over and scaring the crap out of me. I may even edit that bit out of the video. It may start yelling for food, but it's already been fed. I'm busy, birdie. Excuse me. Right. Did I have anything to say else about that? No, I don't think so. Okay. Merchy stuff, plant communication course, still up for sale on Udemy. I've got 31 students now, which is very nice. Thank you, and welcome to all the new students. I'm glad that you're enjoying the course. And the psychic development one is, I will get to it probably over the Christmas break, I would imagine, by the time I do all my homework and assignments and have a bit of a rest for the year, because I'm at art school. But yes, it is coming. Spirit guide meditation, upgrade your energy meditation, chakra balance meditation are still all for sale, reasonably priced, lifetime download. Still doing Reiki, still doing readings, still got the merch shops, and the Oracle card deck is still in progress, but it is slowed down by the fact that I'm now at college, which I'm mostly enjoying. We're doing abstract art at the moment, which is kind of interesting. I didn't really like my design. I'm just looking at it because it's down there on the chair beside the table. Oh, here's a light plane going across. Might have to edit that out. But while the plane went across, I shuffled and dealt the cards. So I'm using two decks today. One is Herbal Astrology by Adriana Ayales, artwork by Josephine Clarks. I've used both of these decks before, but not for a while. I felt like I wanted really earthy, grounded, naturey decks today. And the second one is Greenwich Oracle by Cheralyn and Darcey. Not sure who did that artwork. I think maybe she did. Anyway, so I've got 3 cards from the Herbal Astrology and 1 from the Greenwich Oracle. I'll show them to you as we go along, and I will take photos and post them on the socials a day or so after the video goes up. They might be in the right order. Not sure. They'll let me know. What was I going to say? Don't know. Hi. I just remembered the bit I was struggling to remember when I was filming the video the other day, so I thought I'd make a quick little addendum. The other thing that I've noticed recently is that things are happening really, really fast, like really fast. So if you, have a thought or think about somebody, or you want an answer to something, like within hours, it seems like, well, it's certainly been my experience. You get the answer, or you see the person, or do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that is happening all the time and really fast. Like I know that a lot of us have been on this pathway for quite a while, and that's one of the things that you learn, you know, early on, that you can communicate with the universe in that way, and that's great. But there has been a shift, and it's fast, like fast and big and clear and obvious and loud and lovely. So my advice here is to remember to ask. So if you've got any questions or queries in your life, or you want some answers or solutions or whatever it is, then remember to ask, 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 and state like I am, I have. You know, those kind of instructions to the universe are really important right now. Sorry, I'm just swapping arms, just holding it with my hand because I'm on the way out the door somewhere else. So I know I look different to how I did on camera the other day, but that's okay. You can cope with the change. I have faith in you. I wrote myself a little note so I wouldn't forget the things. So just two more other quick things, and they're all related, right? Again, a couple of weeks ago, I kept wanting to say, and did say to quite a few people, I kept saying it feels earthquakey. Earthquakey. It's not even a word, right? But I kept feeling it, and I kept saying it, and I was like, this is weird. I've never felt this before. Been doing this work for 25 years or whatever. Like, it was strange, you know. And one of the things I really liked about that Ann Tucker video that I mentioned to you, well, I'm going to say the other day, but it's the same video. I'll put it in the description box below, a link to her video. She talks pretty early on in the video, she talks about her sort of feeling that the energy rising up feels like an earthquake. And I went, that's what I've been feeling too. So that's, you know, nice confirmation for me as a intuitive person or whatever, that other people are getting the same hits or the same information or whatever. And then I was saying to my mum, I think the other day, like, I hope it doesn't mean an actual earthquake, you know. And then a few days later, there was an actual earthquake, 7.1 magnitude earthquake in Japan, which is pretty devastating for them. So we can send our compassionate action, good vibes, juju to them, which would be lovely. But yeah, so interesting. I've never had quite that before. So yeah, actual earthquake, but the feeling of, you know, a big ball of energy being released, I suppose, is what we're trying to communicate here. And the last thing, so there was three things that I forgot to tell you the other day. The last thing is, I'm just trying to think of the right way to frame it. It feels like there's a new, how did my friend say it? Hello, friend. A new information delivery system. So I'd been getting, I guess, what I would call premonitions about an event that happened in my life a week and a half ago. I didn't realise what was going on until the thing happened. And then I looked back and went, that's what they were. They were precursors or premonitions or whatever to this event happening that turned out to be not as bad as I'd feared, which was nice. So I think there's a lesson in, so two things. One is that the information was very clear, very loud, and very integrated into my life. You know, like I was walking along. It's sort of like how I was saying, I'm just going to pick up the note that I dropped in case I forgot something else. Sort of like what I was saying before about how I was having recollections and memories of things. It sort of felt a bit like that, which is why I thought it was just part of that information rather than an actual premonition of something to come. So integrated in that way, and clear and loud. And when I was describing it to a friend the other day, I said it sort of feels a little bit like claircognizance. So, you know, there's four main clairs: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairfeelings, and claircognizance. Which is where the information just drops into your head, unbidden, really. And it doesn't really come with the support of the other senses, so it feels very different to any of the others, you know. And this new way, we're going to call it a new information delivery system now, feels a bit like that, like very direct, very clear, none of the fluff around it, just straight up information, you know. Yeah, so, and I'm pretty sure in another Antaka video, I've only started listening to her recently, but she seems really good, you know. And one of her videos I was listening to maybe a month ago, I think I've only listened to 3 or 4 of hers in total so far, but I like her. She was saying something when it came through in one of her channel messages. She was saying something about a new information delivery system. She didn't use those words. And it was only in hindsight when I put these, you know, pieces together of this particular puzzle, I went, oh, maybe that's what it feels like. Whereas I think if I hadn't have heard her video and her talk about it as a new framework of information and energy coming through and the new energy on Earth, I think I would have just thought it was a one-off, you know, instead of going, oh, this is actually a pattern and this is new. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, clearer, louder, more integrated. Interesting. Anyway, that's my little addendum. I'm going to edit this and chop it into the intro of the original video that you're currently watching. I love this time of year here. I'm in the subtropics and it's winter. And it's the most glorious big blue sky, hardly any clouds, no breeze, just beautiful, calm atmosphere. It's really nice. Okay, so I will tune in and see what the team have to say. The Council of Elders, you know, I channel a big group of entities, I suppose, and sometimes different ones step forward. Often it's the similar sort of handful of team that come forward. Some of you might be getting good at deciphering who's who. I still don't feel like I need to name them, which I quite like, I must say. I think it stops our human egos from going, oh, that's, you know, Archangel so-and-so, or that's Ascended Master so-and-so. Like, it sort of removes all of that. Like, I can sort of see and feel who's at the table, as I imagine that some of you can, and you've got your own guides and whatever sitting at your table as well. So I like that it's not, now it's so-and-so, now it's so-and-so. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, okay. Greetings, dear ones, and thank you again for joining us here today. We do indeed welcome you to our table, welcome you to this big, beautiful, bountiful table that we all sit at together under this big, beautiful blue sky. You can feel the energy of peace and grace where Heather sits, and you can absorb that into your own day if you wish. It is indeed lovely, as she says. It is indeed lovely. Which brings us to our first message of gratitude and grace, my friends. There are times in your lives where you find that you feel that you need to be intentionally grateful. So sometimes when you are in that funk of a mood and you have to go, I must focus on gratitude because I know that will pull me out of this funk. And indeed it does, my friends. It is a wise and relatively fast and very ancient practice that we highly recommend to you, especially in these times when there are indeed waves of energy hitting your earth, higher frequencies coming down to serve you, my friends. So you are recalibrating. I think Heather managed to use that word earlier, to recalibrate your energy systems. It is like if you have an old car and you get a new, say, air conditioner unit put into the car, suddenly it is colder or suddenly it is warmer, and you need to adjust the dials accordingly because perhaps you have been used to the old system where it wasn't so efficient. So maybe you needed to have the heating or the cooling up higher on a 5 or a 6, whereas now with the new system it only needs to be a 1, perhaps a 2. So we are inviting you to allow this recalibration, my friends. Drink good water. Bless your water. Claim the energy of the water as you drink it. Get out in nature as much as you can. We are helping with this today by guiding Heather to these 2 decks in particular to bring you the energy of this version of nature into your lives. Bare feet on the earth. Pat a pot plant. Invite the energy of Gaia to rise up to meet you wherever you are. Even if you are in a high rise, and even if you are looking at a digital picture, Gaia will respond to you. For she is part of this recalibration as well. The warm days, the cold nights, the storms, the cyclones, the earthquakes, the tornadoes. All of this that we see as disturbance are Gaia's version of her own recalibration, because she is in this journey with us. She is on this journey with you. She is your partner in all of this. She is sacred, she is divine, she is feminine, she is the Earth Mother. She deserves respect, and she will command it from those who do not respect her. And she will give you so much support and love when you show her gratitude every day, my friends. The food that you eat, the trees that you breathe, the flowers that inhabit your garden, the butterflies that come to feed on them, all of those things deserve acknowledgement and your gratitude, my friends. And it is this same grace that we ask you to extend to yourselves, my friends, as we look at this card, which is now first grace. Schisandra is the plant. The card has a woman decanting magic from one chalice to another, and there are some perhaps swans, as well as the plant itself. She is barefoot. She has her feet near the stream. She has a crown of a headdress of leaves. We ask that you extend this grace to yourselves as well, my friends, and take the time that you need when you need it. Take the peace that you need when you need it. Leave situations that no longer serve you. Heather has been doing this a lot lately. Leaving situations which no longer serve her. Disconnecting from groups of people that do not have her best interests at heart. And it is liberating, my friends. It is liberating. A long time ago, Heather knew a young woman at university, and the friend's father was a voracious reader and used to go and also like watching movies. So in the old days, before we had a lot of particularly American streaming services, you would go to the video shop and you would hire a video and you'd take the thing home and you would watch it on your TV screen. And Heather remembers this friend from university a long time ago telling her that her father, sometimes if he did not like a book or did not like a movie, would stop after 10 pages or 10 minutes and I don't like this one, I'm going to start another one, start another book, watch another movie. And Heather remembers being quite shocked by this, because she had studied literature at university and at school and things, and it was like, if you start a book you have to finish it, because that is what the assignment will be on, that is what the exam will be on. You, even if you don't like it, you kind of don't have a choice, you have to keep reading. And Heather's shock at, you can stop if you don't like it. You can choose again if you don't like it. And it might not be a bad movie or a bad book, but it might just be not the right one for you at that time. And it is this memory now that we speak of, that we give you permission, just as that story gave Heather permission when she was in her 20s to stop. Just stop. If it doesn't serve you, to stop. Especially in this new energy, especially with this high frequency, especially with this heart-centered living that we are asking you to walk more and more into, my friends. If it does not feed your heart, then let it go. If it does not feed your heart, then let it slip away from you like that heavy coat that you have unbuttoned, that you no longer need. It is okay, my friends. All becomes fertilizer in the end, does it not anyway? Yes. Grace for yourself, grace for others, grace for the timing of the situation, the places and the people that you find yourselves in. This next card is Chamomile. It says inner peace. It has a beautiful woman surrounded by chamomile flowers. There are a deer and a fawn, a stream, some beautiful trees, dawn or dusk, sunrise. And interestingly, the thing that Heather is noticing now is that the woman that is in this card, the main woman, she is in the earth. Her hair is the grass and the flowers. Her body is the earth itself. And it is this which brings us inner peace, my friends. This grace that we give to ourselves, this grace that we give to our Mother Nature. This letting go of situations and places and people that no longer serve us and walking towards those that do. And the rainbow lorikeets have come to say hello. The beautiful, brightly coloured birds that you find in the subtropics. Hee. Inner peace is within, inner peace is within, inner peace is within. You do not need to go into, as Ann Tucker was saying from her channel, you do not need to go into others' energy fields to check that you are okay or to check that they are okay, and they do not need to come into your energy field to get your permission to be. It is about you being whole and healthy and happy within yourselves, and that is that true inner peace. And the more you meditate, the more you connect up and down, divine light, divine Gaia beneath your feet, and extend that bubble of light around you, my friends. It must be a daily practice, remember, like brushing your hair or brushing your teeth. Clear your chakras and extend your energy out to the edges of your bubble. The edges can be diffuse, they can be solid, depending on your feelings for the day, but it is 26 meters in diameter. 8 feet. Or the maths may be the wrong way around, but you know what we mean. It is big. It is not here, it is not here, it is here. That is your bubble. That is your sphere of influence. And in your sphere of influence is your energy system, your energy center. And you are in control of that. That is the only thing that we ask you to have mastery over, my friends. That is the only thing we ask you to have mastery over. This self of yours, this soul of yours, this beautiful divine being that is the spark of divinity that has the flavor of you. We ask you to step up into this light, my friends, and to shine as brightly as you can. The world needs you. You are meant to be here. You are loved beyond measure. The story that you have to tell, as this last card, Lavender, tells us, Weaver, the story that you have to tell is the most important thing on the planet right now. And now we have the sulfur-crested cockatoos. All of the winged ones and a butterfly, all of the winged ones are coming to say hello as we speak with you today. It is glorious. This is what we miss when we are inside, my friends. So the Weaver card, a beautiful woman. She has a lute or a lyre, an old stringed instrument. Heather forgets the name. She has a baby upon her back in a swaddled green cloth. There is a woven spider's web shimmering in the light. There are also 2 other women, one sprinkling stardust and one, they look like angelic entities. This one looks like it has wings and it is playing perhaps a violin. There is a spider. She is barefoot. The woman is barefoot. She has her feet in the grass. There is also a vessel on the ground. These are beautiful cards, my friends. So it is all about the story, my friends, the unique stamp that is you. If you feel like drawing or sewing or singing or cooking dinner for the homeless or weeding your garden or raising some children or managing a company and donating to a charity, however it is that you feel like you can best show up in the world is what we are asking you to do. That is the way that you shine, my friends. Do not stay in situations that no longer serve you, and let go of the immense amount of energy that takes to hold yourself. It is like treading water in mud. It's not necessarily the clearest metaphor we have ever used with Heather, but you understand the feeling. You can get out of the swamp, you can get out of the mud, you can step onto the clear path and the shiny rocks and move forward into your beautiful golden pathway that will carry you forward with a full and glad heart for the rest of your life. Lead with the heart, lead with the heart, lead with the heart. It is the center of all. It is your powerhouse. We love you dearly. We thank you for joining us here today. We thank the winged ones for joining us here today. We have loved being outside in nature with you and with Heather. We will encourage her to do it more often. Take good care of yourselves. Stay grounded, stay peaceful, stay in your heart. We will support you as much as we can, as much as you allow. We love you dearly. We will speak with you very soon. With so much love. And so it is. Yay. Aha. Thank you. That was quite lovely. And a butterfly. So black and white ones, I forget what they're called. Thank you. I did draw an extra card and I looked at it. I think there's another edit in there because there was a noisy train going past. So we waited. But I did draw one from the Greenwich Oracle called Positivity with Marigold. And I did look at it before they sort of signed off, but I didn't feel like they were going to talk about it. But as they were signing off, I felt like I wanted to talk about it, which is interesting. So it's Marigold Positivity, and it's got lots of symbols in it, some of which I don't understand. But it's also got a Dreamweaver. Oh, that's interesting. The Dreamweaver has like that sort of almost like atomic kind of symbols in the middle of it, as well as some feathers. It's quite pretty. I feel like the Marigold Positivity card is connected to that grace. Sorry, I keep holding it up to the wrong spot. Connected to the grace card that they talked about first. Gratitude, where they were talking, the part where they were talking about the gratitude. I felt like it kind of came in there a bit. But yeah, this bright, sunny orange marigold flowers. And I've got lots of them growing in the garden at the moment, which is nice. I've reinvigorated the veggie patch, which I'm quite proud of because I let it go for a while. But fresh tomatoes and fresh basil, and I mean the basil died. Fresh parsley. I don't know why the basil died. Anyway, thank you as always. Thanks for liking and thanks for sharing if you share it. Thanks for commenting and thanks for holding my hand. That's very nice. And yeah, I think that's all. Stay hydrated. Good food, extra protein, good sleep, bit of extra good salt if you can. That all helps with the grounding. Yeah, and I will talk to you very soon. I haven't been on social media and stuff much lately, partly because I've been busy and partly because I don't like the whole AI stealing your stuff things. So I haven't even been posting any of the artwork that I've been making. But anyway, it's happening, it's exciting, and I like it. And I like you. And I will talk to you again next month, if not before. Take care. Much love. Bye.